Hey guys, it's Mega Meat Moop in the His House, and today I'm gonna lead you through some gay shit. Here's a list of gay things that may get this video restricted if I show or mention them on YouTube. Home Depot. Theater.
It's 1957, and when my husband hits me, it makes me feel like a better woman.
Glitter. The ability to sneeze glitter. Xena Warrior Princess. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Rainbows. Flannel. More flannel. The universal queer haircut. Girls kissing girls. The ability to summon Satan himself. The ability to fly. Showing emotion. Respecting women.
Hey girl, you're looking pretty individual and like you don't need no man and that you've got your career in check and know where you're going in life today.
Being killed off in television by accidental bullet to the heart or accidental arrow to the face. Committing suicide in television. Laugh track after any display of male femininity.
Oh my God! Where are all the men?
Laugh track after any confession of gay feelings for a straight protagonist.
Has any of you ever had a dream where you were with the opposite of a girl?
Laugh track after any display of gender divergence.
I cannot be labeled. I am gender fluid.
Not being real. After all, we're all a fabrication of trauma-induced illusion, or we're just seeking attention. Not being real if you're asexual, bisexual, or non-binary. Being inappropriate because you exist.
Hey guys, first of all, I came out to my whole family about my gender. It's a little iffy because, like, a couple of them have already said they're not going to use my pronouns because it's not what they're used to. But I think that given time, it could become better. Like, we had an out loud conversation about gender identity, which I never thought would happen. Like, this is so cool. I'm officially out to my family about my queerness, my gender, my depression as of this break, and it's so freeing. If you are like me and follow a lot of LGBTQ YouTubers because you are LGBTQ, you've been noticing that a lot of videos have been getting restricted and removed from YouTube for no reason other than their tagline includes the word gay or queer or something similar. I'm talking G-rated YouTube videos such as Steph Sonyati's video about makeup tips for trans women. I realize that this might be going under the radar for a lot of people and a lot of people might not be taking it seriously, but to me, knowing the history of the community and the media that's affected us, I think that it's extremely important that this needs to be addressed and fixed as soon as possible. I think we all sort of have the notion that queer characters in media, specifically television and movies, appeared in like the 1980s beyond, but have you ever heard of the film Queen Christina? Queen Christina is a historically based queer film that was released, I believe, in 1933.
Now, don't dally, Your Majesty. You have a busy day.
Morning, Ebba. What are you doing up so early? I couldn't sleep.
And 1 year after that, Hollywood released film codes that made it so that anything that was deemed inappropriate, religiously or value-wise, had to be restricted and monitored by a guild of reviewers. A lot of these guidelines were religiously based. Like, literally, writers and producers for films in Hollywood, if it was a mainstream film, had to send their films to this bureau or guild, and it literally had to be reviewed and censored before it could be released again.
American people are a pretty homely and wholesome crowd. Cockeyed philosophies of life, ugly sex situations, cheap jokes, and dirty dialogue are not wanted. Decent people don't like this sort of stuff, and it is our job to see to it that they get none of it.
It became a way for creators to identify queer characters without showing their actual queerness. This created the pansy stereotype, the dangerous butch lesbian stereotype,
I don't think I'll pose tonight. I think I'll go if you don't mind. Please don't come any closer.
This created the idea that queer people were dangerous and could only end in tragedy. Queer people could only be shown explicitly if they were to end in tragedy such as suicide, being murdered, or heartbreak.
But I did love you. I do love you.
I resented your plans to marry. Maybe because I wanted you.
So think about our media today. Does anyone remember when Lexa in the 100 was killed by an accidental arrow 5 minutes after she got back together with Clark? And does anyone find it eerily similar that in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Tara was killed in the exact same way with a bullet to the heart accidentally 5 minutes after she got back together with Willow? We have been used as shock value and a temporary fix until producers decide that we won't bring them enough money or that the public isn't ready for us, and then we're killed off. 2016 saw the death of so many queer women, and I think that this is a testament of time as to how harmful media censorship can be across generations, how media censorship can literally shape our cultures and our societies. And I think that it's so harmful and dangerous for YouTube to be age-restricting LGBTQ content and giving them the message that being queer is inherently inappropriate, that being queer is wrong for children, that being queer is not fit for families or anyone under 18, and that anything to do with our culture is not fit for viewership. That is literally what YouTube is doing right now. I am a non-binary trans masculine person who's attracted to women. And if I would have seen videos like I'm seeing made by creators now on YouTube 7 years ago, do you think I would have pretended like my gender didn't exist? Do you think I would have hid back under dresses and long hair because I thought that what I was too scary for the world and I didn't know it existed? Do you know, I wouldn't know that what I am was an option to exist as unless I saw the YouTubers that I'm seeing today that are created by queer YouTubers for queer YouTubers. This is so important. Censorship kills. Censorship changes how our society looks at different people, how our society looks at people like me, how our society looks at people of color, the way that people of color are written in media so that they are portrayed as dangerous or lusty, or it's just, if you raise your children on a certain set of media, that is how they will believe the people in the world are. That is one of the reasons we still have so many stereotypes. It started back before the 1930s, it was enforced in the 1930s, and now it's coming back because as people get afraid that they're losing power when other people are being equalized, they try to make us disappear again. I'm not getting back in that thing. I'm not getting back in there. I'm having a good time. I want to fall in love someday. I want to make videos that are going to help little mentally ill kids. Little mentally ill queer kids. Like I was and I am. And I'm not going to stop. And YouTube, you need to apologize. Because this is not okay. I know that money is important. But the lives of queer kids are a lot more important. Peace out.
I just realized I did this on the back of my monologue for class. So this was a very, very bad decision. That was a bad decision.